obviously disappointed that we lost the game. And like I told the guys in the locker room, it's never okay. It's never acceptable, regardless of what whether it's a preseason game or not. So we have a lot of things we have to improve on. But look, I thought there were some good things. I thought, early in the game, I thought the defense, in particular with some short fields, did some good stuff, and limited their, points on some short field situations. And then kind of once we had a chance to, get the field position a little bit better, I thought offense, they're at the end of the, into the first quarter and the second quarter, I thought we had a, really nice, long drive. Thought we ran the ball well in that drive. And we were able to convert that, with a red zone score, So I was really pleased with, overall what we were able to get once we kind of got, some field position. Obviously, early on in the game, we got a couple of drives where we're backed up, and it made it a little bit more challenging. I think Sed had a play that he could have made over on the sideline, would have potentially gotten us a first down that, might have, kind of got us going just a little bit. But overall, I saw some positive signs. Thought we were a little bit better up front early on. And then I thought as the game wore on, I thought our execution wasn't nearly as good as it needed to be, as we got into kind of our second and third phase with our guys, both offensively, defensively, really, and in the kicking game. And so, a lot of things that we have to get cleaned up, but I did see some things, some positive signs to try to build on.
Can you see what happened with Kool-Aid McKinstry?
He has a knee injury. I think we avoided, anything serious. Now, what kind of time we're looking at, I really have no idea. But I think we escaped that from. I think we escaped the game, at least on initial report, without any major injuries.
DA, was that long drive kind of how you envisioned what you want the offense to look like?
Well, look, yeah, I mean, I like our ability to be able to run the football, some play action passing game. I think, certainly I'd like for us to be able to get some explosive plays. I know this team that we just played traditionally doesn't give up a lot of explosive plays, so I think we knew kind of going into the game, that would be kind of challenging. But in the way that we were able to run the football, on that drive, I thought that was, really, really encouraging.
What would you say about the decisions to not field punts inside the 10? Did you?
I think for the most part, I thought we probably should have fielded most of those. I think there may have been one that I thought was a good decision to let that go. And but yeah, I thought we probably could have fielded a couple of those that we didn't.
Did something happen to Dolan Hoker pregame?
He sprained his ankle pregame. Prior to really pregame, just throwing with the quarterbacks early on. So,
Dennis, can you get into what you saw out of your defensive front in those first couple drives with Purdy in the game, and particularly in the pass rush?
Yeah, look, I mean, I thought early on we did some good things. I thought rushing coverage was working well together. So yeah, I mean, I think we've got some guys that I think have a chance to affect the quarterback. And I thought, from a pass coverage standpoint, obviously losing JaQuincy there early in the game, kind of changed some things, obviously with Lattimore already out and Adebo already out. But I thought overall from a pass coverage standpoint, I thought we were able to hold up pretty good.
Brzee got the start over Saunders. Have you seen something from Brzee lately that you wanted to at least get him a look there?
Yeah, look, he's done some good things. He's been, probably a little bit more improved as a run player, which I think is good. And I think, he's a guy that we got to continue to work to get him into the best football shape that he can be in, because when he's, rested and feeling good, he's a pretty good player, and so how can we get him to, be able to string together 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays, and still, be conditioned to play at the level that we need him to. And so that was part of the reason I think, we kept him in there, for that 2-minute drive is to try to, get him some of that work.
I know you haven't looked at the film, but just initial impressions of Rattler here.
Yeah, it'd probably be unfair for me to, say. I mean, I thought there was a couple of plays there late in the game where I thought Jake did some really nice things. I thought it was a little, kind of disjointed, when Spencer was in there, and I don't think it was all his fault. I mean, the one play, the ball's on the ground on the snap, so, we'll have to go back and look at it. But, I really thought there were some good things that we did, with the first group. And yet there's some things that we have to be better at. And then I thought, after that, it was, a little inconsistent and sloppy at times.
Was the plan to play those regulars pre-series, or just did you want to see how it went on offense?
Well, look, I mean, I think we went into this game saying, we wanted to get our ones probably, quarter and a half, 15 plays, somewhere in that vicinity. When we went on the long drive offensively, I was like, let's just keep them in there and let's finish this drive, and then once we were able to finish the drive and get the touchdown, I'd seen enough of the, first wave of guys.
How much did the joint practices being canceled affect your decision on? Would you have played them even if you had the joint practices? Or did it change?
Well, look, I mean, obviously that's a hypothetical question, so I don't really know, I think you go into all these games and it's really based on what I feel like we need, and certainly I felt like where we were, that our guys needed to go in and play in a game-like situation. And so we played them. And the plan was to play them quarter and a half, 15 plays, somewhere in there. I don't remember what the final numbers came out to be, but that was kind of the thought process going in. And look, we'll go through the practices this week, and somewhere around, towards the end of the week, we'll make a decision on, who and how much we want to play in this final preseason game.
And I know it's, again, not looking at the film, but is Rico Payton kind of helping his cause maybe a little bit?
I thought he did some really good things. They tested him, threw the ball down the field on him, several times. And so, yeah, I think he's done some good things.
PA, you getting a feel for your team? I mean, do you have a feel for your team at this point?
Yeah, I got a better feel for him, and yet, I don't think the final verdict's out yet in terms of what we got, or what we're going to be. I know what we're building towards, and I like a lot of the things that I see. I like a lot of things that I'm feeling from our group. And yet there's some things that I think we still got to improve on.
You
We
mentioned
hear about, getting away and the bonding that occurs between a team when you're kind of in these sequestered situations, be at the end of the trip. Do you feel like that's happened to the level you'd hoped it would?
Yeah, look, it's been good. It's been really good. I think we got a close team. I think we got a close group. So I like that part of, where we're at.
you mentioned the kind of the starting position that the 49ers had. Would you kind of make of the punting game tonight?
I think they won the punting battle. I think they did a better job of, pinning us down than we were able to do. So that's what I thought.